Hello students. Students, in my previous video we discussed about the meristematic tissue and today we will study about the permanent tissue. So let's see what is permanent tissue. Permanent tissue is that tissue which has lost the ability of division. Now these cells do not divide, but they will perform some specific function. So that tissue will be called as permanent tissue. Now this permanent tissue is classified into two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Now today we will discuss only simple permanent tissue. So simple permanent tissue means that tissue in which all the cells are similar in structure and they will perform a common function. So that tissue which is made up of same type of cell and they will perform the same function will be called as simple permanent tissue. Now this simple permanent tissue is of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So we will discuss the characteristic and the function of these three types of simple permanent tissue. So the first one is parenchyma. Parenchyma tissue is made up of same types of cells and these cells are known as parenchymatous cell. So these are isodiametric. Clear? Iso means equal and diametric means diameter. So these cells have almost equal diameter in all the plane. So they are isodiametric and they may be spherical, oval, round, polygonal or elongated in shape. So the shape could be spherical, oval, round, polygonal or elongated. Elongated, you know that they will be like this, elongated, and polygonal means they have many sides, so then it will be called as polygonal. They are thin walled, their wall is thin and their cell wall is made up of cellulose. You have to remember, my dear students, that their wall is thin and it is made up of cellulose. Next characteristic is they may or may not have intercellular spaces. When the cells are compactly arranged, then there will be no intercellular spaces present between them. But if they are loosely arranged, we can see that here what is present. This is the intercellular space. So when the cells are loosely arranged, then intercellular spaces are present. But when the cells are compactly arranged, so intercellular spaces are absent. So intercellular spaces may be or may not be present. They are the living cells. They are living cells because during the maturity also they possess the protoplasm. So that's why they are always the living cells. Clear? Now we will see the functions. They act as storage of food. So here in these cells what food is stored, and the food is stored in the form of carbohydrates, fats, proteins or oil. So the very first function of the parenchymatous cell is the storage of food. Second, if the chloroplast is present in the parenchyma cells, then they will perform the photosynthesis and that cell will be known as clearancyma. Just remember the term clearancyma. Chlorine means those cells which will perform photosynthesis. And why they will perform photosynthesis? Because these parenchymatous cells possess chloroplast. It means they have chlorophyll. So they will perform photosynthesis. Some of the parenchymatous cells do secretion. It can secrete resin, nectar or oil because these are present in these secretory ducts. So that's why they will perform the function of secretion. Clear? In hydrophytes means those plants which lives in water. There what will happen? These parenchymatous cells will have large air cavities. Just remember, when in hydrophytes parenchymatous cells have large air cavities, what will happen? It will give buoyancy to the plant and the plant will be able to float. So such type of parenchymatous cells which are present in hydrophytes, which help into providing the buoyancy to the plant, which help the plant to float, and it also helps in the gaseous exchange. So that type of parenchymatous cells will be called as Parenchyma. So these are the characteristics of parenchymatous cells. Let's see here. They are isodiametric. They can be spherical, oval, round, polygonal or elongated in shape. The cell wall is thin and it is made up of cellulose. Intercellular spaces may be present when the cells are loosely arranged, or it can be absent, and these cells are living cells because protoplasm is always present. They can do storage of food. They can do photosynthesis if chloroplast is present, and that type of cell will be known as Clearancyma. They can do the secretion, and in hydrophytes they will provide the buoyancy to the plant and they will be known as Parenchyma. Next we will see, next simple permanent tissue is Clearancyma. These are oval, spherical or polygonal in shape. The shape can be polygonal, having many sides. They can be spherical, they can be oval. Corners have thickening. Now here we can see a Clearancymatous cell. Here we can see there is thickening at the corner. Clear? And this thickening is of what? It is of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. These substances get deposited at the corner in the Clearancymatous cell. Intercellular spaces are absent here. We cannot see any intercellular space. Intercellular space may be present in parenchymatous, but it is absent in Clearancymatous cell. They are elastic and they are living cells. Clear? They are living cell because they possess the protoplasm, so that's why they are the living cells. Now we will see their functions. They provide the mechanical support. Their main function is to provide mechanical support to the different parts of the plant, like the young stem and the petiole. We know what is petiole. If you see the structure of a leaf, so this structure which is attached to the branch, it is known as the petiole. So it is the connection between the lamina and the branch. Next is they can perform the photosynthesis. So they will perform photosynthesis when they possess the chloroplast. They are present in dicotyledonous plant. In dicot plant they are present. If you see the TS of the dicot stem, we can see below the epidermis what is present. The Clearancyma is present in 2 to 3 layers, while it is absent in monocote. In monocote, Clearancymatous cells is absent. The third category is Sclerenchyma. This is the next simple permanent tissue. It is usually dead. What happens when it matures? The protoplasm is lost, so that's why it is a dead cell or dead tissue. Cells are elongated and narrow. In this diagram we can see the cells are elongated and they are narrow. They are having thick cell wall. The cell wall is thick and there is the deposition of cellulose, hemicellulose and lignin. So it makes the cell wall very thick. In the wall we can see the numerous pits. The pits can be numerous, which is present in the cell wall. It can be differentiated into two types, fibers and sclerid. Now what is fiber? When the cells are elongated, having pointed or oblique end, then it will be called as fiber. So fibers have elongated, pointed and oblique ends, and they provide the mechanical strength to the plant. So here we can see the structure of a fiber. Sclerid, it can be spherical, oval, and it is always present in the hard parts of the plant. For example, it is present in the wall of the nuts like almonds and walnuts. So it is present in the fruit wall of the nuts. It is present in the pulp of guava and pear. When we eat guava, so we can see the pulp is a little bit crispy. It is crispy because of the presence of this sclerid. then leaves of the tea, and it is also present in the seed coat of legumes. Clear? So here we can see the structure of a sclerid. So these are the three simple permanent tissue which we have to study, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Thank you.